what happens if all of a sudden the the hedging instrument matures, expires? What happens if the relationship's not effective anymore? What happens? What do you do with that kind of stuff? Well, whether you're dealing with a cash flow hedge or a fair value hedge, there's a derecognition process you need to go through. So we'll go to derivatives hedging. We'll just take a look at the fair value hedges because it's going to be the same whether it is fair value cash flow. So we'll take a look at the fair value hedge, and we're looking at paragraph 40, which is talking about derecognition. And the literature is very clear on this. It's all prospective, right? So these are the three items, and everything's prospective. So whatever you've done up to this moment in time, you don't have to go back and reverse it. It's always done on a prospective basis. And so these are any of the criterion that are in 80-20-25, which you'd go back and take a look at, right? Which is the four criteria. Is it a derivative? Is it the hedged risk, et cetera? Is it effective, et cetera, right? All of those kinds of things. So those items, those criterion to be able to get hedge accounting are no longer met. Or the derivative instrument expires, it's terminated, it's exercised, whatever, that's also going to discontinue hedge accounting. You no longer can do what you were doing with the hedged item or the hedged risk, say in a fair value hedge. Or we remove the designation that it is a fair value hedge. We just said we're stopping designating this as a fair value hedge for hedge accounting. So if all of those things, if any of those things occur, if any one of those things occur, you're going to stop it prospectively, right? So it goes in a little bit more of the literature here goes in and talks about the effectiveness criterion, when should you discontinue it. A lot of this comes down to a judgment call. One of the things that you can do if any of these things happen, right? And there's some transitional guidance here, right? But if any of these things occur, right? And you want to, so if any of these things happen, you may elect to designate prospectively a new hedging relationship. So, but you've got to have this all documented up front. So if your existing hedging relationship breaks down, that's fine. You can then go in and say, well, listen, we're going to discontinue this hedging relationship and we're going to document and create a new hedging relationship, either with a different hedging instrument or by taking the hedge transaction and making sure that it now links up because it's, these new transactions are new on balance sheet items as hedged items, hedged risks are a better fit for the particular hedging instrument. So you've got to be careful with that, and it's all going to be documented up front to meet your overall assessment. So you can, in certain cases, you're going to have to stop using hedge accounting, but you can go back through the process of redesignating where this derivative is now applied, or if your derivative expired, getting a new derivative instrument and then starting a brand new hedging relationship prospectively. But then you've got to follow all of the criterion that are in 8-15-20-25 for either whether it's a cash flow hedge or a fair value hedge.